I rubbed my eyes that were stinging from overexposure to my computer. I peeked over my cubicle to see the darkness of the night creeping in through the windows. How did I let the whole day fly by on me? I murmured in the silence of the office. The mountain of case files laying on my desk made my already piercing headache throb even harder. Surely Janet, my boss, was doing this because I was gone for so long? I was a social worker at a massive company that handled nearly 20,000 cases a year. That might sound nice on the outside for a company to reach out so much, but all it did was bog down grunts like me with paperwork. I studied sociology in college to help people, and I was told I would make a difference in the world. That all sounds like bullshit brainwashing now. The fact of the matter is I still have only seen one real case in front of me. That case wasn't even mine. One of the other social workers left and it got dropped on me. It was a little girl, 13 or 14, I can't remember fully right now. Her file said was being abused at home, but that after a few months the worker on the case dropped her and now it was all on me. She was in the streets because her abusive father had gone missing and now she was alone. She came into the office after the police picked her up out of an alleyway. When they found her, she was eating trash from the garbage bin and pissing in the street. As they brought her in and sat her in front of me, she didn't even look up. Her head was slumped down and her eyes shot from side to side. My boss Janet came over to help. Jacob, this is Abigail. Abigail, honey, it's Janet. Do you remember me? Abigail didn't say anything. She just kept darting her vision back and forth. Janet motioned for me to say something. Hi Abigail, it's very nice to meet you. Her gaze rose to meet mine. A cold shiver ran down my spine as she stared deeply into me like a predator sizing up its prey. Abigail leapt from her chair and lunged at me. I fell out of my chair, hitting the cubicle behind me. The flimsy wall fell backwards onto the desk behind mine as I heard it smash a computer. Abigail's bloodshot eyes stared down at me and a smirk ran across her face. I saw her get ready to pounce when a police officer grabbed her from behind. She snatched out his baton and screamed as she bashed his brains in. I watched under the desk as his eyes started to roll back into his head and then all of the life faded. They dragged Abigail away and I lost it. I vomited into a trash can and just held my head over it crying. I had never seen anything like that before. Janet screamed, "Oh my God! Oh my God! No, someone please!" The other workers were now peeking over their cubicles and some were even rushing to the restroom as the smell of fresh blood and filth filled the office. I held my head over the trash can until I heard them move him out of the cubicle and rush him to the hospital. I lifted my head up and still saw the blood stain on the carpet. Another officer walked me around the puddle of blood and took me to the police station. They questioned me about everything that had happened. I was so numb I couldn't even harbor up any more emotion and just gave them the facts. After that was the typical company cover-up shit. They raised Abigail's file from our database and told me that basically, Abigail never existed. The media frequently camped out of our office building, but thankfully I was kept anonymous, so they never bothered me more than anyone else. The executives gave me a check worth 3 months of pay and told me to disappear. Go take a vacation, they said. I didn't know how in the hell they expected me to just let everything go. I pushed them to tell me what happened to Abigail to make her that way, but they threatened to sue me or fire me, so I backed down. I took my bribe and went away from everything and everyone. A few weeks before I was to return to work, Alan, one of my co-workers, called me. "Hey, how's the vacation?" "You mean the bribe? It's fucking fantastic. No Janet and no paperwork. This must be what heaven is like," I replied. "So you haven't been watching the news?" I laughed. They told me to piss off. You think I give a damn what's happening there right now? Well, you should. I did some snooping around and I found out what really happened to Abigail. Remember when you started last year they told you that another worker left the Abigail case? Yeah? What about it? I said. I was nervous of what I might hear, albeit very intrigued. Turns out that someone didn't leave. Someone got promo. The phone fell silent. Alan? You better not be screwing with me right now. Alan? Alan? The dial tone cut in. Damn it, I shouted at the phone. I tried to call him back but it kept going straight to voicemail. I tried to finish out what he might have been trying to say. I even tried to call him back at the office only to find out that he was caught with one of the underage girls he was helping and he was promptly fired and hauled off to jail. I couldn't believe that he would do something like that. To think I actually called him a friend. Now, there I sat at 9 p.m. on a Thursday buried under his paperwork. Screw it, I grunted. I've had enough. I picked up my bag and logged out of my computer before I walked to the parking garage. As I opened the door I stared down at my keys, but before I could push the unlock button I bumped into a car. The fuck? I shouted. The car was blocking my only way out. Who parks in the middle of the parking garage, I thought. I saw a tag hanging from the rearview mirror and on it was Janet's picture. You stupid bitch, I said to myself. Janet liked to go out and get drunk after work. This wasn't the first time she returned to the office and caused some mayhem. As I lifted up my foot to walk away and call a tow truck, I felt some resistance. I looked down and saw my shoe was completely red. In the corner of my vision I saw something. It was Janet's hair peeking out of the tire, her face smashed underneath it. I felt someone standing behind me as the smell of garbage and stale blood took me over.